One of my uncles loves to say that things usually get worse before they get better. And it's absolutely true, especially when we're talking about Lilly Singh, who has 14.9 million YouTube subscribers and a show that airs on NBC just in time for everyone getting their midnight snack to miss. And Lilly's show won the hearts of critics and viewers all over the world with moments like this.
I'm a bisexual woman of color so much that I feel like I should just change my name.
But instead of changing her show's name, Lilly did even better.
About a year ago, I came out as bisexual. Woo! I tweeted out, female, colored, bisexual.
What I appreciate about Lilly is that she's showing all of us that comedy in 2020 is more about getting applause than laughter.
At the age of 30, I came out as bi.
That joke gets better every time I hear it.
Now, thanks to me, your kids will grow up to be bisexual women of color talk show hosts.
I love Lilly because she inspires me to also be a bisexual woman of color talk show host. I would love it. Now, Lilly's show got an itty-bitty little tiny bit of criticism from literally everyone on the internet who posted videos saying stuff like this.
I personally don't understand why it's such a big fuss about who other people like. I mean, why would you possibly care about who someone else wants to be with?
That person looks eerily familiar. Anyway, Lilly continued pumping out new episodes, which aired so early on NBC, you could hear the crickets. And recently, Lilly had to put out a video addressing some of her audience's concerns.
This episode of A Little Late with Lilly Singh and all future episodes were shot pre-pandemic, which is why there's a live audience and some of the guest topics and jokes don't address what's happening.
Honestly, I don't think Lilly had to make this video and address why her show's out of touch. It's just part of her brand. And since making this announcement, Lilly's videos have been doing amazing, getting next to no views for a channel with 500,000 subscribers and getting an increasingly bigger amount of dislikes, which is a clear reflection of just how amazing her content is.
I love my writers and they do great work. Give it up for my writers, they're fantastic.
They do great work, we just never get to see it.
I'm gonna say a setup to a joke and they're each going to pitch me a punchline. Whoever writes my favorite gets an amazing prize. Validation.
Wow, for a second there I got worried their prize was gonna be getting fired. Might have actually been a better prize.
The other two get slimed.
Well, that sounds like an amazing comedy bit if you love to watch a boss publicly torture their underlings.
Oh my god, this is my favorite day. Okay.
Now, if you think that Lilly's just using this segment to take out her frustrations on her writers for not being able to make her funny, then you're super wrong because she's hilarious. Because
bisexual woman of color, okay? Okay, so I'll give you the setup. You finish. Here we go. First setup. Dating in LA is really crazy.
That's a great setup to a joke that nobody wants to hear.
Dating in LA is really crazy. Everyone here thinks they're an actor until the time comes when they have to fake an organ.
That was so funny. No wonder Lilly's show's hilarious.
Dating in LA is really crazy. There's just always so much traffic in my vagina.
Everybody knows that the best jokes have punchlines about genitals because they're funny words that make everything funny. Just like pee pee poo poo gaga.
Dating in LA is really crazy. Now there's two ways I'm getting boned by agents.
If you're not laughing at any of these jokes, then you probably haven't been paid yet.
Isn't this fun?
Who would have known it could be so much fun to watch torture? That's what's great about Lilly's show. It's beyond comedy. It's like gladiators fighting to see who can make the other look worse.
Not to mention the infamous Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial. No one in her family had blown something that big since Ray J.
I love Lilly Singh because she has to compensate for the fact her jokes aren't funny by doing impressions to my favorite movies, like the little girl in The Exorcist. But what's great about this new moment in Lilly's show is that she's even more relatable than she's ever been before.
What even is April Fool's? Does anyone know?
Lilly with the deep philosophical questions, which are as obvious as the future is unpredictable.
And then Burger King announced they were releasing a chocolate Whopper. Yeah, a chocolate Whopper is usually what people release after they've eaten at Burger King.
Lilly had to crouch down so she didn't release her own chocolate Whopper from laughing at her own joke. And that's one thing Lilly absolutely loves to do.
My mom actually brings her own tea bags on vacation and calls ahead to see if there's a kettle.
It's not funny because it's true. It's funny because Lilly laughed. And if you don't laugh with her, then you're not getting your paycheck.
Once I vacation dated this pool boy.
Folks, every single word Lilly says is hilarious, even when it's not a joke. That's why you hear her audience just burst into laughter as soon as she opens her mouth before anything comes out, because her production hired somebody a little too trigger happy to run the laugh track.
Later, I read a Yelp review of the hotel where a woman complained that he had given her herpes.
I'm so glad that Lilly is open about having herpes. Nowadays, it's better to know what everybody's got so you can just stay away from them.
Virgin Galactic says space travel can be available as soon as 2020 for only $250,000. Yeah.
The best type of physical comedy is when you're just desperately trying to do anything so people will laugh because you don't have any punchlines.
I do try to keep up with the news, but lately, I just haven't had the chance. So I thought I would catch up on what I missed.
Oh, that's a great idea, Lilly. Here's something you missed. The greatest pandemic of the last 100 years. I should cover it.
The writers are gonna give me part of a headline, and I'll try to guess the rest. A guy in Rhode Island was arrested after he got drunk and crashed into a gathering of the Juggalos. I mean, I hope it wasn't that one, because not only do you go to jail, but then you have to listen to their music, you know?
Ah, yes, the worst part about running people over is that you have to listen to their music. Doesn't it warm your heart that Lilly finds slaughtering people she doesn't like hilarious?
I know I may come off as fearless on this show. I mean, I literally have the words "without fear" tattooed on my body. But let me just say, this tattoo is a lie.
It takes a lot of courage to admit to yourself and the world that you decided to make lies a permanent thing in your life. It's why Lilly's a role model.
I hate spiders so much. There are certain movies that I can't even watch. This is a true story. I didn't watch the last Lord of the Rings movie because I heard there was a spider in it.
It's common knowledge that when you have a debilitating irrational fear like that, the best thing to do is to go on television and talk about it rather than go to a therapist and work on it so you can live a regular, functional life. So either Lilly's giving your audience a terrific example of how to not deal with your problems, or she's making fun of people who can't even do the most mundane, everyday activities.
Here's the thing. I love the beach, but you never know what the experience is gonna be until you get there. It's either nice and sunny or freezing cold. It's either great or it's terrible. There's no in between.
I absolutely love this bit because there's nothing more interesting than talking about the weather. It's the type of conversation I usually have with people whenever I want to drive myself and the other person to go to sleep as quickly as possible.
If I do go to the beach, y'all, I commit hard. I even get there early to claim a good spot. Catch me showing up in the morning and yelling, "I have discovered the perfect patch of land!"
Wow, for a second there, I thought she was gonna go with something funny like,
"Catch me outside, how about that?"
But personally, I was just grateful that Lilly stuck to her brand of being hilarious only to herself.
I can't swim. I know. I just never got around to it. I was too busy learning all the other...
We're getting such an amazing lesson in comedy from Lilly right here because she's performing in front of a live studio audience and the audience is interacting with her and she does this.
I just never got around to it. I was too busy learning all...
Absolutely nothing. Because real comedians know you're not supposed to develop a connection with your audience. You're supposed to ignore them and treat them for what they are. A prop that only exists to make you look funnier than you are.
I want to talk about something that everyone does, but nobody talks about. I know what you're thinking, no. Not using the face app to see what you look like as a guy and then be like, "Yo, he hot! He hot!"
The best part about Lilly's comedy is that every single one of her bits is a regurgitation of all the humble brags she tells herself in the morning when she's looking at her own reflection. Because the most relatable and funny thing you can do when you act is talk about how amazing you think you are.
Don't act like you haven't done it. Who's made themselves a guy and been like, "I'm hot"? Everyone. But I'm not talking about that.
What you see is not what you get with Lilly, folks, because not only is she not talking about how hot she thinks she would be if she were a guy, but she's also not completely badgering her audience to agree with her so she doesn't seem as crazy as she is right now. By the way, this guy's facial expression in the back row is not representative of what every single reasonable person watching this show is thinking. Folks, no need to worry. Lilly doesn't have the thing that shall not be named, so she's not infecting anyone with anything other than herpes. By the way, Lilly isn't running a weird cult where people celebrate her acting like an insane person. She just paid everybody in the audience to just applaud everything she does.
If you're gonna go clubbing, you just have to commit to what clubbing is. Or else, what's the point?
A lot of people don't understand why I absolutely love Lilly Singh late night show. Where else can you get empty platitudes with absolutely no insight or substance whatsoever?
There is so much going on in the world today. I'm sure you've all been keeping up with what's in the news, but tonight I want to focus on some of the stories that you may have missed.
Oh, I got a big one for you. How about the quarantine 90% of the world has been in for over a month? I think that's a good start. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. Every like will be another tone-deaf episode of Lilly Singh's show that has nothing to do with a thing that shall not be named, even though she recorded it beforehand. Maybe they should have just stopped putting them out. I don't know. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think? I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They go too. Make sure you're still washing your hands, not touching your face, and staying away from stupid people. I love all of you, defenders. Peace.